Hello everyone. In our session today, we're going to be taking a look at monitoring the status of the app protection policies that have been applied to users from the Intune app protection pane in the Azure portal. In addition, we're going to be looking to see how users are affected by the app protection policies, policy compliance status, and any other issues that your users might have been experiencing. Now, there are 3 different places where we can monitor app protection policies. We have the summary view, we have the detailed view, and we have the reporting view. And we're going to take a look at all 3 of those views. But before we do that, we should note that the retention period for app protection data is 90 days. Any app instances that have checked into the Intune service within the past 90 days is included in the app protection status report. An app instance is a unique user plus the app plus the device. Now let's take a look at the summary view. As you can see here, we are in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, and under the Admin Center's section, we're going to be clicking on Endpoint Management. In Endpoint Management, we want to select Apps, App Protection Status. And under this pane, you also see that you have App Install Status, you have Discovered Apps, and you have Apps Licenses. But we're monitoring app protection, so we want to click on App Protection Status. And we're going to see a category of things that we can monitor. The first one is assigned users. You can see assigned users. We have no data to display here because we have no users that we have assigned app protection policies to. But nevertheless, we're looking at the categories because we want to understand what these categories contain. So the first one here that you see, assigned users, if you click on that one, you will see the total number of assigned users in your company who are using an app that is associated with a policy in a work context and are protected and licensed, as well as the assigned users that are unprotected are unlicensed. So if you were to click on assigned users, that's what we would see. We would show you the icon, the app name, the device type, the compliance status, the delivered policies, and so on. Then you have here on the right the flagged users. And this category is going to tell you the number of users who are experiencing issues with their devices, whether jailbroken iOS or iPad OS and rooted Android devices. All of those are reported under flagged users. Also, users with devices that are flagged by the Google Safety Net Devices Attestation Check, if it is turned on by the IT admin, are also reported here under flagged users. If we scroll down a bit, you have another category, users with potential harmful apps. And this shows you the number of users who may have a harmful app on their Android device detected by Google Play Protect. Then below that, you have user status for iOS. And you also have user status for Android below that, and that shows you the number of users who have used an app who have a policy assigned to them in a work context for the related platform. This information is going to show you the number of users managed by the policy, as well as the number of users who are using an app that is not targeted by any policy in a work context. So that is the user status for the iOS. If you scroll down, we will see also the user status for the Android. And if you click on these, you will see the headings that they will show for the particular user. Then we have top protected iOS, iPad OS users. Let's look for that one. Here it is, top protected iOS apps. And we also have top protected Android apps. And this is based on the most used iOS and Android apps. And this information is going to show you the number of protected and unprotected apps by platform. So you see here, you have in the right hand corner here, unprotected and protected. It is going to show you by particular platform the apps that are protected and those that are not protected. You also have with enrollment and not with enrollment. So it actually shows you the apps with enrollment, those that are enrolled, and those are not enrolled. And again, that would be based on the most used iOS or Android apps for unenrolled devices. And this information will show the number of configured apps by platform. So that is the summary view. And then we have the detailed view. In order to see the detailed view, we can go back up and choose flag users. So if I scroll back up the screen, I want to look for flag users. And if I click on flag users, if I click on this tile, it's going to show me the users with potentially harmful apps. So if I have none, I will see none. And then there's another way that we can view a detailed view of what's happening that we can monitor. And we can go to users with potentially harmful apps. So let's look for that tile. Here it is. So if we want to see a detailed view, we can either go to the flag users tile, or we can come here to users with potentially harmful apps. And you can see that you will have the user, you'll have the ID of that app, you'll have whether or not it is enabled by MAM, you'll have the threat category, you have the email. So it will actually tell you the users here with potentially harmful apps, the device name, the last time it was synced. Again, it will give you the name of the user, the app ID package, and this is the way that the Android uniquely determines an app by the ID. So also you're going to see here this column MAM. If the app is enabled, MAM enabled, whether or not the app is being deployed through Microsoft Intune. So that's what that's going to tell you, whether or not that app is being deployed through Microsoft Intune. And then you also have the threat category, and this is what Google determined the threat category to be, or what category it falls in according to Google. Then the email address, of course, is the email address of the user. The device name will be the name of any devices that are associated with the user's account. And then you have the last sync, which would be the timestamp, and that is the date of the last sync. that Google did with Microsoft Intune regarding any potentially harmful apps. And then you also have the reporting view. And you can find this on the report tab. So if we went back here to apps and app protection status, monitor, app protection status, we can see here that we have the reports cog. And the reports pane provides several reports based on user and app. So you can see here the icon displays whether the app status is up to date. Then you have the app name, giving the name of the app, the device type, devices that are associated with the user's account. You have the compliance status. You have the delivered policies, the policies that have been delivered. You have the status, which would be whether or not the policy was deployed to the user and the app that was used in the work context, even if it's at least once, or whether or not the policy was deployed to the user. So if the policy has not been used, if it has been deployed but it hasn't been used, you're going to see not checked in. So under that status, you would see checked in or not checked in. And then the last thing, of course, is the last time the app was synced with Intune. So those are our 3 views. If you wanted to see the reporting for a user, you would have to select the user and choose the user status summary guide if you wanted to see the reporting for a particular user. And we're going to be selecting a user just to see the report status for a particular user. And you can see the user's name here. So then you're able for that particular user to look at all the different settings to find out the status of that particular user. This is the end of our session on monitoring app protection policies. We want to thank you for listening.